Hello YouTube, my name is Jack. Welcome back to a list review. Yes, another list review Thursday. Good to see you all here this morning. Hello to everyone who's going to be here this morning. Let me know what it is, like what time it is where you are, and if it's sunny or if it's rainy, because it's quite, I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little bit dark and gloomy today. I do have the white screen in front of me helping me out a little bit, but look, it's so dark and gloomy when I go over to Warhammer. It's a bit rainy today, so starting the day off with a list review before we get to our live stream this evening, which is going to be Chaos Knights and Necrons with Connor returning. It's going to be a good time, but we have some list reviews here this morning. Before we get started, hello, hi Musbuzz, hi Fish, good to see you. Before we get started, yes, I would just like to say, if you want your list reviewed, and if you want some coaching as well, and if you want custom artworks, and if you want to play in our TTS event, it's all over on our Patreon. The TTS event is going to be starting within the week, pretty much. It's going to be starting in October. On the 1st of October. So if you want to get involved in the event that we are playing in our Discord, it's a very casual event. I will be playing, so if you want to play some games against me, then go sign up. The Discord is down below. It's entirely free to join. But if you want to play in the TTS event, then you're going to have to be at least a Tier 2 Patreon supporter or higher. So with that said and done, otherwise it's all the usual plugs of commission painting services, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and hello to chat. Good to see you. Hi. We have Buzz, and we have Muzz. Wow. That's a rarity. And good to see you. JMTH, Nick, good to see you. Hi, how you going? Yes, Fish is here. Hello. All right, so we have a few lists today. Luckily today, I don't need to rush off for a haircut like I did last week, so we've got all the time in the world. So ask as many questions as you want. These kinds of list reviews are for not only reviewing people's lists, but also to answer all of your questions. Luckily, I don't have Neil next to me, interrupting me every time I answer a question by trying to shoot me or fight me. So I can actually answer all of your questions. So if you have a question, ask away. I am free game this morning. Good to see you, Kirst. Good to see you, Kirst Cowboy. How you going? All right. And I'm excited this morning because the first list that we are doing is Mr. Fish's list, which is an orcs list. Now, I don't know too much about orcs. I know the very, very basic level of orcs, but I will be needing to learn more about orcs because we are about to inherit an orcs army, or it's going to be lent to us very soon. So I believe it's on the way. So I'm going to be excited about that. Where can we send our list for review? Can I send mine over? Or do you have enough lists to review today? You can absolutely send yours over. Muzz, you do have to be a Tier 2 Patreon supporter. If you are, go to the Discord. In the Discord, there is a little thread under the supporters only section called list submission. You just copy paste it into there, and I will literally copy paste it straight onto this document for review this morning. So if you want your list reviewed, bam, it's there. These are the best clips. You are trying to talk and Neil is blasting away rolling dice. I know, it's great. Everyone loves those, especially me. Yeah. I think Neil is one of the best presenters I have. I would never trade him away for anything, and the show would not exist without him. He is number one. But my one pet peeve is when he interrupts what I'm saying. But it's okay. I'm willing to put up with all of his shenanigans for a good time. Rough day for me, so I'm just jumping into support. Whoa, busy. Okay, good to see you though. It's a fluffy, silly list. Was fun to play. Nice. Okay, good. Well, you're going to teach me this morning, Fish, all about orcs. So I do have my Wahapedia up and ready to go, and I'm ready to learn. So you have the Green Tide with Weird Boy silliness. I love it. So what does the Green Tide do these days? You get your invons. Where am I going here? Not the Big Hunt. We're doing the Green Tide. So the Green Tide is you get your invons on all your units, I believe. Yeah, mob mentality. You get a 6 up invulnerable save each time a unit targets boys, and 10 or more models, you get a 5 up invulnerable save. So you want to run tons and tons of boys. Okay, you have Pain Boy, Pain Boy, Pain Boy. Yep, I can see where this is going. War Boss, War Boss, War Boss. Weird Boy, Weird Boy, Weird Boy. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot of characters. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Pain Boys are like a lieutenant. So, or like a apothecary, so they can join even if you've already joined. Is that true? Or no? I guess not. Wow. So Pain Boys can only join one thing. Can Weird Boys join if they've already given a character? What do these guys do? 5 up, feel no pain, of course. Each time an attack is made by this model, you get critical wounds. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, Odie's turn. So it's like his own little ability. Does a Weird Boy allow you to join? Where am I going here? Weird Boy. He gives the jump, doesn't he? So yeah, to jump once per turn at the end of the move phase on a 2+, you can just jump them across the board. That's cool, once per turn as well, so you can get them to jump everywhere. That's actually really fun. I'd love to try that. Sounds like a pain in the bum to move that many models around though. While this model is leading a unit, add 1 to the strength and damage characteristic of its Ed Banger for every 5 models. Yeah, so it's his own ability. And he can't be attached if other units are attached. What? And then you have war bosses. Just all war bosses, one with show off and one with ferocious show off and one with brutal but cunning. So that is Orcs infantry model. Each time the bearer fights while resolving those attacks, and one of the strength of those bearer's men. If you contain 10 or more models, you get add 3. That's fun. And brutal but cunning. If the bearer is on the battlefield or is embarked within transport, roll 1d6, adding to the result, adding 2 if you have 10 or more models. On a 5+, you get a CP. So on a 3 up, you get a CP. That's pretty good. While this model's leading a unit, you add 1 of the hit rolls. And when you call the war until the start of add 4 to the attacks characteristics of this model's melee. Wow. So they go from, what is it? Wait, what? Add 4 to the attacks characteristics of this model's melee weapons. So does he get... No, I don't think you can modify the attacks on extra attacks. So it only adds to whatever he's holding. So most likely like a power claw. So he gets 8 attacks with power claw. Wow. Okay. Did not know that. That's pretty brutal. You've also got a Weird Boy with bloodthirsty belligerence. What do they do? While it's in a unit, you can reroll advanced rolls. And with 10 or more, you can reroll charge rolls. Okay. So I'm expecting a lot of boys here. 20 boys, 20 boys, 20 boys, 20 boys, 20 boys, 20 boys. Okay, that's a lot of boys. But where do the rest of your characters go? So you got 3 pain boys, 3 war bosses, and 3 weird boys. If you do the war bosses with the characters, with the units, then you get +1 to hit with them. And you obviously want one of them with them so that you can get your CP on a 3 up. But then you can't have all your pain boys if you're doing weird boys. You can only have some here. So where do the rest go? Yeah, if it's a war boss. Looks like they did change it so you can't attach pain boys with other leaders. It looks like they did. If it's a war boss, you can. Maybe it says in the boys rule, actually, like it does for something like sisters. You can have 2 units leading this model. Yeah. You can attach up to 2 leader units instead of 1, but only if one of those is a war boss. If you do, this unit is destroyed. The leader attached becomes separated. There you go. It's in the bodyguard section. Haha! We found it. Look at boys. There we go. Amazing. So at the end of the command phase, yeah, you get So wait, they have sticky as well. Okay, that's good. Very, very cool. So basically, what you do, war bosses with 3 of them, and then probably like weird boys with the war bosses. Do you do fish the weird boys with the war bosses or the pain boys with the war bosses, and then run those across the table, and then jump in the weird boy units from the back of the board? Is that what you do? I assume that would be the best play. So 6 units of 20, so 120 boys. Okay, that's a lot of boys. And then a unit of 10 Gretchen. 3 mech guns with smasher guns. Alright, let's see what they do. What does a smasher gun do these days? And what does a mech gun do? Each time a model in the unit makes an attack, targets a starting strength unit, excluding monster vehicles. You reroll a hit roll of 1. Okay, I assume they hit on 4s as well. They do. D3 plus 1 shots, 9 minus 3, 3 damage. Blast. It's not so bad. They're 150 points for 3. T5, 6 wounds with a 5-up save. They're not particularly survivable, but if you're versing someone that doesn't have that too many ranged weapons, then it's not so bad. You have a unit of 3 and a unit of 2 with bubble chuckers. That's it. That's the whole list. That's 2,000 points. Oh, okay. Wow. All right. I was expecting more. I thought that it would be cheaper to do that. Wow. So it's literally 120 boys and 5 mech guns and a unit of Gretchen. Oh, that's not a lot of models, I guess. I mean, yeah, that's actually not a lot of models. And also, I think people can still take Cull the Horde against that, right? If I'm not mistaken. Let's go to Warhammer Community, to downloads, and then we'll look at the Pariah Nexus download. I think that they changed it slightly with the Cull the Horde. Oops. It's up here. So Cull the Horde. I believe you can now take it fixed. Pariah Nexus in here. Cull the Horde. So when the unit, okay, each time an enemy unit is destroyed, if one or more of the following is true, you get thing. So 20 wounds. Yeah. So I mean, it's a fun list, but you better damn pray that don't take fixed against you. Because although 3 of your units, so 60 boys, are going to get 5 up Feel No Pain and 5 up Invulnerable saves, yeah, each of your units is going to give away 5 points. So they just need to kill 4 units of boys to get max for Cull the Horde. And then they just need to go assassinate and kill 5 characters, and they max that as well. These kinds of lists are really fun, but they get ruined by the game allowing people to take fixed secondaries. Same as my demon stuff. I always bring bubble chuckers. Nice. Bubble chuckers are cool. And what do they do? Bubble chuckers. They have so many different modes. 2d6 shots. And the range 48 as well. That's really cool. 6 minus 1, 1. D6 shots at 9 minus 2, 3. D3 shots at 12 minus 3. D6 plus 3. Hilarious. They are vehicles as well. So I assume that when you run them in the other detachment, the press the buttons one, which is... what is it? Dread Mob, probably? They get the press the button, and then you get to like have a whole bunch of different modifiers for these, and they go hazardous. That would be fun. When I played, I failed pretty much all of my jumps for most of the game, so they just sat there taking mortal wounds. And they only fail on a 1! Surely you don't fail that many. That's unfortunate. Yeah, wow. It looks like a fun list, but it does look like something that you'd be playing with mates, because if you take it to anything competitive, people would just screen the whole board, and then they just take fixed secondaries against you, which kind of sucks. I wish there was a way around that, but there really isn't, right? So I'm going to take a quick look at your stratagems and see what you got. So 1 boy's unit from your army has not been selected to fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack, reroll a wound of 1. If your unit contains 10 or more models, reroll the wound roll instead. Okay, so just some reroll wounds. 1 boy's unit from your army that's not from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase and is within engagement range of 1 or more models. Until the end of the phase, each time your unit is selected to fight when determining the models in your unit. Okay, so you get further engagement. Not bad. Okay, get them all in for only 1 CP. 2 boys units from your army within 6 of each other at the start of the command phase. While they're within 6, they both count as containing 10 or more models. That's funny. I don't think people would use that one very often. Come on, lads. Return up to D3 plus 2 models, excluding characters. I think you'd be using that one a lot. Okay, so come on, lads. Tired of muscle. Until the end of the phase, each time your unit declares a charge, add 1 of the charge roll. Okay, yeah, cool. And then go get them. 1 boy's unit from your army selected as target 1 more attacks. After you have been shot, you can make a go-getter move, and you may move d6. Each model unit can move a distance in inches up to the result, but your unit must end that move as close as possible. All right, so something about this. I'm going to zoom this in so you guys can see. Is it possible for me to actually do that? Hold on. That's the best I got. Sad. Okay, cool. So, yeah, something about this rule I want to talk about, because there is this rule in a lot of different armies when you move your models closer to other units, and it is very, in my opinion, badly worded, and some people play it differently to others. So it does say, to do so, roll a d6. Each model in your unit can move a distance in inches up to the result, but your unit must end that move as close as possible to the closest enemy unit. So there's two contradicting terms here. Firstly, it's saying you can move as many inches as you want. Then secondly, it's saying your unit must end that move as close as possible. So how many inches do you move then? If you have to move as close as possible, technically as close as possible is moving as many inches as possible. So they contradict each other. And the other thing to know about this is when you move your models, and I'll actually go to the whiteboard here. So imagine like I've got this big base model right here, and we have a unit of boys like this, right? Now, some people, what they do is they like to move this one boy closer so that it ends like touching here, and then they'll end like this model and they'll move him all the way over here and then just basically fill up the gaps. And they say, yeah, my unit is closer because of this guy touching the base, but this guy can still move wherever he wants. But technically, am I not correct in saying that if you have a model with a base here and you have all your orc boys standing here, to make your unit end as close as possible, to be as close as possible, every model has to be moved to as far as possible, right? Every model has to make base contact. If that doesn't happen, your unit is technically not as close as possible, right? Is that not true? Thank you, Nick. That's huge. Thanks, Nick, for the 5 gifted memberships. That's really, really kind. I don't expect any of that on a very casual, morning stream for list reviews, but I will absolutely take it. Thank you very much. It's really, really kind. You already give me too much, so thank you, Nick. That's huge. Any of those people that just got gifted a membership, consider paying that forward. And yeah, I'm honored. Thank you very much, Fish. That's really kind. I take it as all models in the unit move as close as possible. Yeah. See? Well, you have to move one as close as possible so that the unit ended closer. Yeah, like you're saying now. So, in my opinion, you're right in saying that the unit ends closer if you move one model closer to the enemy, but not as close as possible. It specifically says as close as possible. As close as possible means you move all your models. And I think a lot of people are just playing it as I move one model and then I move the rest of my unit to an objective, or I move them behind a wall. So this rule is written really badly and definitely needs to be fixed, because there's the same thing for cultists and stuff like that in CSM, the accursed cultist mobs, and I hate it. But yeah, I think that if it was me making the rules, saying, and that's what I wrote, I would say as close as possible is every single model in the unit has to move the maximum number of inches, and they all have to move as close as possible. That's why we love the rules writers at GW. It's so open to interpretation, yeah. It's the unit that opens it up. It should say model, yeah. So there you go. Anyway, That looks like a very fun list. I like it a lot. I would be tempted to play Green Tide if I had that many models, but also it does seem like a pain in the butt. I used to play Horde Nids ages ago, and playing Horde these days is just like so back-breaking. Your back gets sore, like all the pile-ins and consolidations. I think there's a reason why people are playing things like Custodes, and that's because they're just more enjoyable to play because you don't have to move 120 models. That's cheesy if they do it that way. Yeah, but when some people are trying to win a tournament, they'll go to any lengths possible. So, now we're on to a demons list. All right, back to my comfort zone. Here we go. So this list is from JMTH. Now, JMTH, I will say, I believe you are a tier 2 supporter, and I'm going to review your list today because it's entirely my bad, and I'm a complete donut, but I think something went wrong in the Discord, and you should not have been able to submit a list because it's for tier 3 or higher. That's their reward. Hi, Scary, good to see you. Wow, yes. Everyone go subscribe to Scary. If you haven't seen Scary recently, I watched your video this morning. You went to your massive teams tournament. Was it 8-player teams with like, how many teams was it? It was a crazy amount of people. The hall looked packed, and you versed Hobby Goblins on your first round. That was so cool. I wish that you'd got Hosen in there. That would have been awesome to say hello, to see him on screen as well. But yeah, everyone go subscribe to Scary. I definitely stole this idea from him. I did ask him, and he said it was okay. I still feel bad about it, but this is definitely Scary's idea, the list crunch. And if you haven't seen his Monday streams, definitely go check them out as well. Scary is a hobby hero to not only lots of people in the community, but myself as well, and deserves all your love and support. But hi, Scary, good to see you. Yeah, miss you, buddy. When are you coming to Australia? I want to say hello and shake your hand and have a good game. It'd be a good time. Yeah, only put it in because you said you wanted some more lists. Yes, thank you, JMTH. I know, I'm reviewing it today because I do need more lists. You are totally right. The Patreon, we gotta grow it. We need more people on there. And I'm reviewing your list today because you put it in and it's entirely my bad. But I shouldn't allow you in because then I'm setting a precedent for people who are not that tier 3 support. So anyone who's tier 3 kind of doesn't feel as good paying the extra money, this is their reward. But I will review your list today because it's an extra list to do. So thank you, JMTH. Nice. Yeah, Scary is the hoot. Yeah. Hosen stayed home. That's a shame. That would have been cool to see him on stream or on video. Nice. Yes, Haxed. I did say I wasn't at the tier. Yes, I know. Thank you, JMTH. I know. It's my bad. It's entirely my bad. Any chance that demons might be split up by God? I don't think so. We've had this discussion a few times. I think we did it last time we did a stream as well, like a Thursday stream. I don't think that they will be. There is obviously a chance. There's a chance for anything to happen, really. There's a chance that they will disappear entirely. But I don't think it's likely. I'm betting that they will stay as they are. They're just delaying it for some unknown reason. It could be because a lot of the models are quite old. So they might be doing a bigger refresh towards the end of next year. Who knows? All right, let's take a look. So you have, and where did you make this list, by the way? What is this made with? I know it's made with, is it made with Battlescribe? I think it is. Yeah, okay. So, Chaos Demons, Warlord, Great and Clean one with the Endless Gift, nice. Then you have the Argath King of Blades on a Skullmaster. I assume that's just because you had additional points. I've tried this before. And a Skullmaster with the additional hits is actually really good. Like, when you get the extra attack from Scarbrand, And then you're being buffed by a Rend Master, and then you have Argath, King of Blades. He goes from strength 6 up to strength 7 up to strength 9, and then he has 5 attacks up to 6 attacks up to 8 attacks. So like 8 attacks, strength 9, you're -3. You can go to -4 with the stratagem, and 4 damage. It's pretty gross. So yeah, when you're leading a unit, I actually don't mind this at all. I think it's pretty neat. I would actually prefer running Argath, King of Blades on a Skullmaster or a Bloodmaster than on a Bloodthirster, and I think that's because the Bloodthirster already can crump something into the ground, plus he has the mortals. You don't really need it, whereas putting Argath on a smaller unit that doesn't have as much damage can really become unexpected and just kill something instantly. It's pretty fun. Bring it down 2 times 6, assassination 6 characters. Who's your other? Okay, so you have a Bloodmaster, you have a Great and Clean One, Warlord, Balesword, Endless Gift, Rend Master, Throne, okay, Skullmaster, here we go, yep, with the Argath, King of Blades, you got Scarbrand, and you have Skull Taker. So these, in my opinion, are auto-includes. Good to see them in there. That's huge. Rend Master is an auto-include. Yep. You've also got a Skull Master and a Blood Master. So you're really Khorne heavy. And then you've also got your Great and Clean One for holding points. So you're right. Yeah, you only give up 12 for Bring It Down. I think that's a really good choice. If you run a third Greater Demon, then you risk giving up too many points. And definitely you're not allowed to run anything that is 20 wounds. You can only include from this point maybe a Keeper, a Lord of Change, or Bellicor, but everyone knows how I feel about that. So yeah, Bloodletters, 1 for your Bloodmaster, 1 for Skull Taker. You've got 3 Nurglings, 10 Plague Bearers for Sticky, I love it. And then 3 Flamers. That's an interesting choice. Why 3 Flamers? Just to jump around and be good in those matchups like against Eldar or GSC, etc., or Sisters potentially. I actually rate having 3 Flamers instead of something like a unit Hounds. Similar price, they're more niche, good for toolbox kind of stuff. I rate it. I run mine with Kyra so I can jump them around and keep my CP. But yeah, I think 3 Flamers is a good choice. 6 Crushers with your Skullmaster. And then you've got 2 Skull Cannons, a unit of Hounds, and another unit of Hounds. I like it. So the 2 Skull Cannons is a really interesting choice. I really like Skull Cannons, but I don't know if I would go so far as to say it's worth having 2. They're like, excuse me, chat, they're really good for holding your backfield and screening and things like that. But potentially, instead of having a Skull Cannon, what you might be better off doing, because you have your Great and Clean One, you might be better off running Epidemius. I don't think people are going to take fixed secondaries against you anyway, because you have a lot of characters already, but you don't have a lot of Bring It Down. So people aren't going to take fixed against you. And with Epidemius in the list instead of a Skull Cannon, your Plaguebearer unit stickies the home field and then runs forward with your Great and Clean One. And then you get all of your Feel No Pain, and you get 4 invulnerable saves, and you can heal them. I actually really like Epidemius if you're going to be doing that strategy. I think that he's pretty good for 80 points. And then potentially you can mess around with some other points as well. Is this 2,000 bang on the nose? I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, so like maybe remove Argath and remove a Skull Cannon for Epidemius, and then you've got 15 points plus another 20 points, you've got 35. You could probably change a unit, like upgrade a unit for something else. So like maybe even... I don't know. I swap it around and try how you go. I think that the one thing I will say is maybe just try Epidemius. Because Epidemius with the Plague Bearers is really good. Then again, if you don't have Rodigus in your list, you can't make him +1 damage, which is where Epidemius really shines, because he gets D6 plus 3 attacks. Normally 5 -2, 2 can go to 5 3 with a CP, minus 2 normally, 3 damage with lethal hits. It's actually really gross. Against something like, if you're punching, I don't know, Blade Guard, just slicing Blade Guard in half, 3 damage each. It's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Do you think the amount of corn he has would not be good to have a second Rend Master? No. I don't think having a second Rend Master is good ever. A lot of people like to run more than one Rend Master, and I just don't think it's that good of a choice because basically they're 150 points. It's not egregiously expensive, but when you have more than one, you're likely to spread them out and you get your buffs in different places, but people will just focus fire one side of the board, and then they will want to annihilate your Rend Master, and they'll pretty much go for the Rend Master first if they're smart, because it's the thing buffing your army, giving you a whole bunch of extra tools, and then you just lose a 150 point character, and it's just a lot of points to be spending on a buffing utility piece. I mean, that's literally the price of 2 Screamer units, 2 Fleshhound units, and 10 points, you know? You can have a lot more resources, a lot more utility in your army, instead of just having one buffing character. I know that they do have melee potential as well, but they don't have any rerolls. They're not that strong. They can get stuck in melee quite easily, and then they won't be able to be doing actions and buffing your army. So most likely you're going to be keeping them further back. For 150 points, for a unit that's going to be sitting in the back and not doing much damage, just buffing your army, I think it's good to have one. Having one means that you can really synergize with your army and put down the models that you want in specific locations, and you don't get too, greedy, if you know what I mean. So imagine it's turn 2, and you're like, okay, they have a big unit of dudes here with a character in it. Okay, I'll put down Skull Taker's Blob. They're going to charge in. I'll give them the +1 strength, AP, and damage, and they'll kill everything that they have there. And then in the next turn, they die. On turn 3, you now want to bring down your Crusher Brick. You bring down the Crushers. They do the mortal wounds. You buff them up, and they kill whatever they kill, and then they die in the next turn. In turn 4, you have put down your Bloodmaster unit somewhere on the board. The Bloodmaster unit can now advance and then charge, and they can kill something, and they get buffed by the Rendmaster. And you do them all one at a time. You kind of slowly trade these units, and you trade them up. So your unit is cheap, you kill a big brick of dudes, and then the rest of your units stay alive. So your Great and Clean One, your Fleshhounds, and they're there to score points. If you're running 2 units of Rendmaster, 2 Rendmasters, that's 300 points. I mean, for that you could have a Keeper of Secrets with an enhancement. And she's overcosted. You could have Rodigus plus a unit of Fleshhounds. It's too many points to be just used as a buffing tool. Rendmaster can reroll versus character units. I know that you can reroll versus characters. You get the win rolls. He hits on 2s. And also you can get +1 attack from Scarbrand, and you can buff yourself as well. I'm not saying he's bad. I just don't think that you want him anywhere near the front lines. And for a unit that is that expensive, for just a buffing piece, you don't want 2. In my opinion, you only want 1. You can have the same exact body for a Skull Cannon, and it's 65 points cheaper, moves the same tankiness. It has a range 48 gun, D6 +2 shots at 2 damage. It's basically shooting Bloodletter attacks across the table, and it causes battle shock, and also it has 4 Bloodletter attacks in melee as well. I don't think that the Rendmaster is worth having more than 1 of. I think that when you have 1, you really make sure that it's in the right spot. If you have 2, you're just I don't care, I'll just put them wherever I want. And then you end up losing them, and it's not a good time. I understand, and I agree with you. Thanks, Muzz. Yes, let's do it. I haven't played with this list yet. That's why I didn't put him in. He isn't the and he isn't in the AOS faction packs, so I think they're going to legend him. Yeah, they probably will legend Epidemius. If you don't have him, then he's really hard to get. Yeah, I don't think it's worth buying him at this stage because he will probably go to Legends. I would be surprised if they gave him a new model. It's just a very weird model for them to be making in today's game. Is he mounted? Is he infantry? And they've already got the Scrivener, the Poxbringer, and the Bilepiper, and Slimex, and Demon Princes. They got a lot of characters for Nurgle alone, so I would not be surprised if you went to Legends along with the Blue Scribes. But yeah, I like the list. I think it's really good. I think you have a lot of Khorne for damage, and then the Great Unclean One just sits in the middle of the board. So it's not bad at all. I would just say if you have Epidemius, try that. And otherwise, yeah, I think it's really good. I think it's really, really good. I really like the inclusion of the Flamers as well. That's a good choice. The Nurglings for denying your opponent the mission. What is it called? War of Attrition. Really good choice as well. Nice. Okay, so last list for today, I believe. This is Nick's list. We are looking at the Mono Nurgle. I see it says Mono Nurgle, but I immediately see Be'lakor. Good to see, Nick. Good to see that you have a list in here. I believe that you also said that this is using the models that you have. So it's going to be a more casual list. It's not like we're breaking the bank to go super competitive. But we'll see how we go. So, Mono Nurgle, back on Demons again. Be'lakor. Look, if Be'lakor was this many points, he'd be included in most lists. But until that day, you know, honestly, even let's say 250 points. Fair, GW. That's fair. We don't need to go beyond 250. If he was 250, I would totally include him in my army, 100%. Demon Prince of Chaos with Wings. Yeah. What do the Demon Princes with Wings do? I know that the ones on foot give stealth. The ones with wings... Hold on, I need to go to Demons. It's been ages since I've run one, and that's mainly because they are ludicrously overcosted. But let's see what the ability is. I've totally forgotten. It is start of the fight. That's right. Start of the fight phase. You can add 3D attacks once per battle, and then you also get lethal hits, precision, and sustained hits 1. Yeah. Okay. So honestly, for 180 points, you can basically get a soul grinder for that price. I think that these things need to go down to maybe like 165, maybe 160. I think that 165 would be decent, and a lot of people would start including Demon Princes in their army, especially seeing as you can give them the relic. So, for example, I think the best Demon Prince with wings would probably be Khorne. You make it Khorne, you give it the enhancement for Argath, and all of a sudden, your Demon Prince is going to have, 6 attacks. He's a monster, so he can't get Scarbrand, but you can give him Argath, so 8 attacks. Sustained hits 1. Hitting on 2s, you can make him... with Khorne, it adds 2 to the strength, so he would go to strength 10. Then with Argath, he'd go to strength 12, and then when he's being buffed by the Renmaster, he'd go to strength 13 at AP 3, 4 damage. It's pretty good. 8 attacks at strength 13 with 4 damage. Yeah, pretty gross. And then once per game, you can even boost that up to 11 attacks with sustained hits. That's pretty nuts. For 180 points, I don't think it's worth it. But if it was like 160 and then you gave him the Argath for like making him 185, wow, he would be really good. And he would melt some people. But yeah, I don't think it's particularly amazing now. And also, if you're going to be running a Mono Nurgle army, I can see why you would want a Demon Prince with wings with Be'lakor, because you can hide things in shadow, and then you can like jump the Demon Prince out of the shadow, like out of his little bubble of lone up. You can jump him out, you can advance and charge him, and then he can just like slap something in the face and then die. But personally, I think a better choice would be you run a Demon Prince on foot, because the Demon Prince on foot gives stealth. If he's Nurgle, then he's going to be like toughness 11. Once per game, he can have a 3+ invulnerable save for the phase, which is gross. And then you don't need Be'lakor. And he gives your whole army stealth. So you can have like Great and Clean Ones, Rotigus, Plague Bearers, all -1 to hit, 6-up Feel No Pain, which this guy would get as well if he's Nurgle, from the Great and Clean One. Really, really annoying to shift. So Epidemius, auto-include if you do a mono Nurgle, Great and Clean One with Gift, auto-include. Also, you're doing Flail and Sword. I know that's because that's what you have modeled. I think the best choice is Bile Blade and Bile Sword. Slimix. If you're going to do mono Nurgle, definitely you're going to do Slimix, 100%. Slimix are 2 beasts for sure. Rotigus, auto-include. And then you run a Bile Piper. That's interesting. The Bile Piper forces Battle Shock tests, I believe, within 6 of him in the fight phase, which is really good, honestly. I think this character is a bit underrated, and that's because most people take the Poxbringer, who is better. For 55 points, it's the same price. Poxbringer has better melee. He gets lethal hits on 5s. He has 5 Feel No Pain as well. He's just a better character. If this guy had 5 Feel No Pain, I'd be taking him all the time. And I would like maybe even run 2 or 3 of them. And then just sit them in the middle of the board. 5-up Feel No Pain, 5-up Invon, T5, 5 wounds. And you just sit them in the middle of the board behind a wall. And they're super annoying for actions. And then every fight phase, you just make everything within 6 inches of you take a Battle Shock test at -1 for Shadow as well. Hilarious. It'd actually be really good. You could combo it with things like the Blue Horrors and make everyone -2 to their leadership. And then you're all of a sudden you're Battle Shocking them with Skull Cannons, and then you're Bile Pipering them. Hilarious. But he's just not super resilient. Please, GW, give the Sloppity Bile Piper a 5-up Feel No Pain, and we would be in business. Okay. 4 units of Nurglings. That's a lot of Nurglings. I would say, if you're going to do mono Nurgle, run 1 big unit of Nurglings. So you'd save 15 points, because a unit of 9 is 105, 3 units of 3 is 120. So yeah, make them 1 big unit, and then have another unit of like 1 unit of 3. Just for like deep striking and doing actions and battle line stuff, I would say so. That's good. But have a unit of 9. A unit of 9, 6-up Invon, 6-up Feel No Pain next to the Great and Clean One. Not bad. And then they heal within Shadow. They heal D3 bases. Really not bad at all. They're not a bad unit at all. I think that they're super unique. Great for infiltrating. I've played them a few times, especially on stream. Yeah, I would say that's great. Plague Bearers, a unit for Sticky, 1 with Epidemius, and then I assume 1 with the Bile Piper. Yep, that's pretty good choices. I love it. What are you doing here? 2 beasts, what? 2 beasts of Nurgle? Separated? Nick, my friend, you have to join these together for sure. You make them a unit of 2, and you put them with the snail. And then, tell me you got some flies in here. Yeah! 2 units of flies. Perfect. So you get the snails, you deep strike the snails with the reroll charge, you move your drones up, you shoot whatever you're going to hit, they give you reroll wounds in the fight phase, you charge your snails in with your rerolls, and then, yeah, you get Slimix, which has 4 attacks hitting on 3s, which is like strength 6, AP 2, 3 damage, goes to 4 damage because of Rotigus nearby. And then you have 2 more attacks from the snail itself, with devastating wounds, hitting on 4s, full rerolls, with 8 damage, 4 dev wounds, yes please. And then you have 12 attacks from the beasts, 6 each, hitting on 4s, and then 3 damage dev wounds. Hell yeah. Rerolling all your win rolls? Hell yeah. I've literally one-shot a knight with this unit before. My only problem with it is that they hit on 4s, and it's a 260-point unit. Pretty gross. I think that Beasts should drop to maybe 55. I would say 55, maybe 60 points. And Slimix should drop to about 90, in my opinion. I think if that happened, let's say we go let's say 60 points for Beast, that's 120, and then the Slimix drops to 90. That is a 210 point unit. That's fine. I think that's fine. 260 points is a lot to be paying for a unit that can die that easily. People will just focus fire them really hard. But yeah, a unit with the snail and with the two beasts for like 210, I think would be so worth it. Being buffed by Rodigus and the drones, so funny. Really, really good. I like running 6, so you don't have to have 2 within 2. Oh, as in running 6 Nurglings, so that you can have all of them strung out in a line. Yeah, but then you don't get to heal them. I think a lot of people have that idea, JMTH. A lot of people run units of 6 so that you can have them in a big long line, and then you can infiltrate them. They're like 70 points for an infiltrating screen unit. It's not bad at all. Personally, though, I would say run them in a big line. Run them in a big long line of 9, and then string them back to your home field and just have 2 at either end. And then if not, run them as a unit of 3. I don't like running 6s, but I can see why people do it. Yeah, the Nergs. Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Well, yeah. Anyway, Nick, that would be my advice. I'd say definitely put those 2 beasts together. Make this a unit of, even if you're going to do 2 units of 6, like JMTH is saying, you're still saving 20 points. I think that's not bad at all. Definitely put this guy in the bin. That guy can just see you later. Goodbye. Take him out. Make this a Demon Prince on foot with stealth, and then you can chuck in some additional units. I would say something that would go great in this list is a Soul Grinder. So you can tank shock people. It's Nurgle, so it's quite hard to shift. You can put it near the Grand and Clean One for Feel No Pain as well. It also would get stealth. So you just have like Rodigus, Grand and Clean One, and your Soul Grinder, all within range of your Demon Prince. You just walk them up the board, and you just sit in the middle of the board and go, haha, hello. And you just sit in the middle of the board and kill everything. I have done this on stream with the Demon Prince and the Soul Grinder, and it was a good fun time. I versed a really, really competitive Necron list, and with Lewis playing, and it was really fun. See ya, Be'lakor. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, look, if Be'lakor dropped to 250 points, so he dropped 75. If this dropped 15, so let's say we've now dropped another 90 points. If this dropped 30, so 120 points cheaper. If we replace all these, but that's fine. Yeah. And then these dropped 10 each. So what did I say we're up to? 10, 20, 50 points for him, plus another 15. Here's 50, 75, 125, 140 points. I think that this list could drop. I think 140 points, GW, if you're listening, and you want to make the right changes without anyone getting outrageously offended or anything, just listen to the experts. Yeah, just drop these. Drop this 15, drop Be'lakor to 250, drop the Beast 10 each, and drop Slimix to 90. I think would be fine. That would be very, very good. And it would make a lot of the units more competitive, honestly. The units that you don't see that often, except for Be'lakor, you see him all the time. But then people would actually have a legitimate reason for running him. I know that a lot of people in the UK get really offended whenever I talk about Be'lakor. And especially the True Demon Lord, who is a really competitive player over in England. Shout out to him. He's a lovely guy. But he does love Be'lakor. So, look, I won't hold that against you, True Demon Lord. But here in Australia, we actually play with terrain. So, because there's terrain on the board, and it's not like playing a game of Age of Sigmar, you don't need Be'lakor. You just have a wall to hide behind. But yeah. All right, chat. Before we round it out, if you have any final questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. If you've enjoyed today's video, then please go and check out the Patreon. Yeah, go get some coaching. If you get coaching, then you by default get all the previous rewards. So you get the list reviews as well. You can play in the TTS tournament. Everyone go check out the TTS tournament. Sign-ups are now. Go put in your name, go put in your army. It's going to be a very fun little casual event on Discord where we all get to interact with each other a bit more. You'll get to play some games with me, probably. It's going to be great. So definitely go check it out. And it helps me support the channel as well. So definitely if you want to go support the channel and you want to be part of a TTS event, go check out the thing. Hold on, if I can just, where's the eraser? Is there an eraser on here? Okay, no, there's not. I'm not going to bother finding that. I was going to write something fun. But yeah, go check out the TTS event as well. That would be huge. Go check out our Discord. It's free to join, first link in the description as well, if you just want to share your pictures and have a good time down there. And go check out Adela's commission painting services. Like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. And tune in for tonight's game. That's going to be Necrons versus Chaos Knights. I'm going to be playing the same Chaos Knights list I did last week. I had a lot of fun with it, so I'm going to practice it again. And maybe, who knows, I will actually get into making my own Chaos Knights army. We have an Orc army on the way. I actually was literally just given about 3,000 points of Necrons or something like that. So we now own a Silent King. I'm excited. So we have a lot of Necrons to be painted. I'm going to beg Neil to please paint those, and he'll probably say no, but chat, you got to back me up here. Let's get Neil to paint all the Necrons, so we'll get some more Necrons going as well. And today I also need to make my Tau list. I have to make a list for Tau so that Neil can run me through the gauntlet next week as I play Tau on Tuesday. That's going to be a good fun time. Wapo says, cheers. JMTH says, have a good one playing the list you reviewed in it. Lol. Nice. Hell yeah. Definitely go have fun with that. All right. Well, with that said and done, thank you all for watching. I shall see you tonight. And until next time, peace out. Bye.